Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Danielle with Crochet, and today we are going to learn the half double crochet. So we're going to start out with our slip knot. And I do have videos on this channel about the slip knot, single crochet, the chain stitch, the slip stitch. So feel free to check those out. Alright, so I have a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to put my, slip knot in my yarn, and I'm going to put my hook in it. Okay, so the half double crochet, it's just one yarn over bigger than the single crochet. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing, you know, overly exaggerated. And truly, crochet is not a complicated thing if you understand how the yarn overs work and how you understand the counting and the spacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by chaining 10. And this is just to show you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now remember that when we are doing any kind of crochet stitches, the loop on your hook never counts as a stitch. So you never factor that in when you're counting stitches. Right now I have my work facing 9 o'clock, so that slip knot is way at the other end facing 9 o'clock. I am right-handed, and I'm holding my hook in my right hand. So with a single crochet, what you did previously is you went into the second loop from hook. So you didn't count this one on the hook. You skipped the first chain and then you went into the second. Now with the half double crochet, you're going to go into the third. So the way that I remember it is you're going into the third loop in, so you're adding one more loop, you're adding one more chain because you're adding a yarn over in the stitch. So just a simple way to remember it. So it's all you're going to do is you're going to yarn over. So what you have on your hook is the working loop and then the yarn over you just did. Skip this one chain, skip the second chain, go into the upper leg of that printed V in the chain. And if you don't know what I mean when I'm saying the upper leg of the V, go ahead and watch the previous video I did with the single crochet ear warmer. I go into a lot of detail about what I mean with these upper legs of the V in that video. So now I have 3 loops on my hook. So I have the upper leg of the V, the yarn over I did, and then the working loop. I'm going to yarn over again. So now I have 4 loops on my hook. I have the yarn over I just did, the leg of the V, the yarn over I did before I went into the V, and the working loop. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull off the first 2 loops on hook. Okay, so now you're left with 3, yarn over, you're left with 4, pull through everything. That is a half double crochet. So again, you've got the working loop on your hook, nothing else. You yarn over, now you have 2 loops on hook. Put it under the first leg, or the upper leg of that V. Now you've got 3 loops on hook. Yarn over again, you've got 4 loops on hook. Push through the first 2 loops on hook, you're back to 3, yarn over again, and push through everything. That's it. That is a half double crochet. So this is actually my favorite stitch. It gives you a lot of texture. It works up really quickly without eating up a bunch of your yarn. And it's tight enough that it's gonna be really good for anything from like a hot pad to a sweater to even like a baby stuffed animal, but it's got enough spaces in it where it creates like a stretchy fabric. So I like this one in particular for things like headbands or like maybe fingerless gloves, just because it gives you a little bit of stretch. All right, so I'm getting to the end of my row, and I'll talk you through this one more time. Okay, so we got working loop on the hook, that's it. Okay, you're gonna yarn over. I've got 2 loops on hook. You're gonna go into the upper leg of that V, 3 loops on hook, yarn over again, 4 loops on hook. You're gonna pull through the first 2 loops, you're back to 3 loops on hook, yarn over, back up to 4, pull through everything, and then you're left with your working yarn or working loop. Okay, I am on stitch number 7, and because we started in the 3rd chain from hook, this is going to give us 8 half double crochets. Okay, so I'm on number 8. Okay, and I'm done with this first row. Again, you're going to be able to count these stitches with the printed letter V's at the top, but the spaces in between the stitches, the bigger the stitches, the more pronounced these spaces are, so you're going to be able to count by spaces as well. So let me just make sure I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to chain up 2 because we skipped the first 2 chains. And so now to get the height of that stitch, we're going to chain up 2, turn our work, and start over again. So yarn over. Now, you're going to go into the space between the first and second half doubles. You'll be able to feel it because it is a pretty pronounced space. Okay. Okay, yarn over, 2 loops on hook, and you're going to go under both legs of that V. So similar to when we did the single crochet, in the second row and thereon after, you're going to go under both legs of the V. So it's going to feel like you have an extra yarn over or an extra loop on your hook. That's intentional because you're going under both legs of the V. So right now what I have on hook is I have the working yarn closest to the bottom of the hook, then I have the first yarn over, both legs of the V, now I'm yarning over again. So it's going to feel like you have 5 yarn overs on your hook, but that's just because you're going through both legs of the V. Okay, so then I pulled off the first 2 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through everything else. Okay, we'll go a little bit slower with this next one. So I've got 2 loops on hook right now. I have my working loop, and then I have my first yarn over. Okay, then you're going to put your hook under both legs of that V. So now it's going to feel like you have 4 yarn overs or 4 loops on your hook. Okay, yarn over one more time. You're going to feel like you have 5 loops on hook. So you're going to pull off the first 2. So you're going to pull off that yarn over that you just did in both legs of the V. Okay, now you're going to be left with 3 loops on hook, yarn over, you're back up to 4, and pull through everything. One more time. So I've got the first 2 loops on my hook, the working loop and the first yarn over. Going under both legs of the V, yarn over. It's going to feel like you have 5 on here, but you only have 4 because you've gone under that V. So you're going to pull off the first 3, what feels like the first 3 loops, when in actuality it's going to be that latest yarn over you did in the V. Now you're left with 3 loops on hook, yarn over again, back up to 4, and then you're going to pull through everything. Okay? So we're coming up to the end of this row, and you're going to have 8 half double crochets at the end of this row. Okay. I'm going to pull a little bit more yarn here. Now, I'm at the very last half double crochet in the row. But this is, again, similar to with the single crochet. You're going to feel the bump, and this one's going to be more pronounced because you have 2 chains at the end of the row. So remember at the beginning of this row, we chained up 2 to make the height. So you're going to feel that chain of 2 at the end, and it really feels like you should go into that stitch. But you don't want to do that because then you're going to pick up stitches in your work and you're going to end up making it wider. So just be careful when you get to the end, and then always count. Okay? So let's make sure. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So then chain up 2, turn your work like a book, so that 8th stitch now becomes your first stitch. And then you're going to go into the space between the first and second half double crochets. And you're going to half double crochet as you would. And that is it, you guys. That is all there is to the half double crochet. As always, feel free to email me at dmadecrochet@gmail.com with any questions, comments, suggestions. So that is DMADECROCHET@gmail.com. And I will see you soon. Bye.